If you're heading into winter with a kitchen that feels cold, flat, and a little bit builder grade, this video is going to change that for less than the cost of one dinner out. I've styled over 300 kitchens, and the expensive-looking ones almost never got that way through renovation. They got that way through 11 small moves. A curtain that reads custom, a shelf that looks styled by someone who charges $200 an hour. And number one on this list costs less than $15, takes 10 minutes, and it is the single thing every expensive kitchen you have ever admired has in common. Almost nobody does it at home. We're going from 11 down to 1, and every idea is under $55. The further down we go, the bigger the payoff. You'll want to stay for number 1.
Number 11. The hardware swap. I understand why people leave builder hardware alone. It works, it came with the house, and pulls feel like a detail nobody notices. Here's the thing. Hardware is the one surface your hands touch 40 times a day, and shiny chrome knobs from 2009 are quietly telling every guest what year your kitchen stopped trying. The fix costs almost nothing. A 10-pack of solid-feeling matte black or aged brass poles runs about $32 to $42 online, and swapping them takes one screwdriver and 40 minutes. I did a consult last November for a client who was convinced she needed new cabinet doors, a $6,000 quote. I swapped her chrome knobs for $38 of unlacquered brass look poles before we even discussed the doors. She canceled the quote. Same cabinets. The trick is scale. Go slightly bigger than what's there now. A 5-inch pull on a drawer that had a small knob reads custom instantly. But the next one is the winter move that hotels have used for 100 years, and it costs under $30.
Number 10. The cafe curtain. Bare kitchen windows make sense on paper. Light is good and blinds feel fussy. But in winter, a bare window at 5 p.m. turns into a black rectangle, and black rectangles make a room feel colder than it is. A cafe curtain, the half-height style you see in Parisian bistros, fixes it for around $27 total, a tension rod for $8, and a linen blend panel for $18 to $20. No drilling. Renters can do this. Here is what nobody tells you. The expensive look comes from the fabric puddling slightly on the rod, so buy a panel 1.5 to 2 times the width of your window. A flat, stretched curtain looks like a dorm room. A gathered one looks like a bakery in Lyon. I put one over a client's sink window in a rental last winter, and she told me it was the first time the kitchen felt finished in 4 years of living there. Number 9 is sitting in your cabinet right now, and you're storing it wrong.
Number 9. Cutting boards as wall texture. Most people buy one cutting board, use it, and hide it. Reasonable. But designers pay hundreds for warmth on a backsplash, and stacked wood is the cheapest warmth that exists. 2 or 3 wooden boards in different sizes, leaned upright against the backsplash behind the stove or beside the coffee area, adds instant depth. A large acacia or beech board runs $22 to $35 at any home store. If you already own 2, this idea is free. Flat tile looks cheap. Layers look expensive. That's the whole rule. The failure mode is symmetry. 2 boards the same size side by side looks like a store display. Odd numbers, varied heights, tallest in back. One client leaned a $28 oversized board behind her range, and the photo of that corner got more comments than her $3,000 quartz counters ever did. Number 8 is the one food bloggers figured out years ago, and it changes how your whole counter reads. Number 8. Decant everything. Branded packaging is the enemy of an expensive-looking kitchen. Not because the products are bad, but because a counter with 6 competing logos reads like a shelf at the supermarket. Decanting fixes it. Olive oil into a glass cruet, dish soap into an amber pump bottle, pasta and coffee into matching jars. The visual noise drops, and suddenly the counter looks curated instead of stocked. You do not need to decant your whole pantry. That's an Instagram trap and a Saturday you won't get back. Do only what lives out in the open, which for most kitchens is 5 to 7 items. A quality set
Look for amber or smoked glass with bamboo or wood lids rather than plastic, runs about $24 to $34 for 6 pieces and covers everything visible. I'll link the sets I actually use in the description. We're now getting into the ideas that change how the whole room feels, not just one corner. Number 7 is the single biggest square footage for dollar move on this entire list. Number 7, the washable vintage runner. Hard flooring in winter is the fastest way to make a kitchen feel like a laboratory. Tile is practical, which is why it's there, but practical reads cold from October to March. A vintage-style runner, the faded Persian look in rust, navy, or ochre, warms 12 square feet of floor in one move. And the market has changed. Machine-washable versions now run $42 to $54 for a 2x6 runner, when the look-alike wool versions used to start at $300. I staged a 1990s kitchen for sale 2 winters ago. Oak cabinets, beige tile, zero budget for changes. We added one $49 rust-toned runner in front of the sink. The listing agent told me 3 separate buyers commented on how warm the kitchen felt. Nobody mentioned the oak. Choose a pattern with at least 3 colors because busy patterns hide winter salt and coffee drips. And pick rubber-backed or add a $10 rug pad so it doesn't skate. Number 6 is the upgrade people assume needs an electrician. It doesn't. Number 6. Under cabinet lighting, the warm kind. Most kitchens have one light source, the big overhead. It's efficient, and it's brutal, casting shadows exactly where you work and flattening everything it touches. People assume under-cabinet lighting means hiring an electrician and opening walls, roughly $400 to $900 the traditional way. It hasn't meant that for years. Rechargeable stick-on LED bars install with 3M adhesive in 20 minutes, no wiring at all. The detail that separates expensive looking from gas station looking is color temperature. This matters more than the fixture. You want 2700K, the warm end. The cool 5000K strips that come up first in search results will make your counters look like a dental clinic. Affiliate window. A quality set, 3 rechargeable bars at 2700K with motion sensing runs about $30 to $45 and covers a standard kitchen run. Links in the description. What comes next costs $35, and it's the one idea on this list that guests will actually ask you about. Number 5. A lamp on the kitchen counter. Before we get there, know this. Number 1 on this list isn't a product at all. It's a decision, one you can make tonight without buying anything, and it's the reason the other 10 work. Stay with me. A lamp in the kitchen sounds wrong to most people. Lamps belong in living rooms. That instinct is exactly why this reads so expansive. It's unexpected, and it signals the kitchen is a room you live in, not just a room you cook in. A small ceramic or wood-based lamp with a linen shade tucked on a counter corner or beside the coffee maker runs $28 to $45. Turn it on at dusk, and the entire room changes temperature. I put a $34 thrifted lamp in my own kitchen 6 winters ago, and it has been the most asked about object in my house ever since. Not the range, not the marble, the lamp. Use a warm bulb, 2700K again, and keep it under 40 watts equivalent. It's mood, not task lighting. Number 4 is hiding in plain sight next to your stove right now. Number 4, retire the plastic utensil situation. The plastic utensil holder, the mismatched spatulas, the free with purchase spoon rest. I understand completely. These things accumulate and they work fine. But the zone right beside your stove is the visual center of the kitchen, and a cluttered plastic crock there undoes every other upgrade in this video. The fix? One stoneware or ceramic crock, $18 to $26, holding only wood and stainless tools. Everything plastic goes in a drawer. It still exists, it just doesn't perform. Expensive kitchens aren't kitchens with more things. They're kitchens where everything visible was chosen. A client once spent $200 on counter accessories trying to fix this corner. We returned all of it, bought one $22 cream crock, moved the plastic to a drawer, and the corner was done. Total spend? $22 and $178 back on her card. Number 3 is where we get into the biggest visual transformations, and this one costs less than $30 in paint. Number 3, 1 quart of deep, warm paint. Painting an entire kitchen is a project. Painting one element is a weekend morning, and a single quart, $22 to $30 for good quality, covers an island, a pantry door, or the back wall of open shelving. The winter move is depth. Forest green, oxblood, aubergine, warm charcoal. Deep color on one surface makes everything around it, counters, hardware, dishes, look more considered by contrast. Designers call it grounding. It's why nearly every kitchen you save on Pinterest has one dark element somewhere. The mistake is going halfway with a muddy mid-tone because dark feels scary. Mid-tones read unfinished. Commit to depth on one contained surface, and it reads intentional. I painted the back panel of a client's glass front cabinet in a $26 quart of near black green. Her everyday white dishes, the same ones she'd owned for a decade, suddenly looked like a curated collection. She asked if I'd swapped them. I hadn't touched them. Number 2 is the 2-minute move stylists do on every single photo shoot and almost nobody does at home. Number 2, the tray. And after this, number 1, it's going to sound like nothing when I say it. It costs less than $15. It's also the only idea on this list I'd call non-negotiable. Here's the stylist's secret. Loose objects read as clutter, and the same objects on a tray read as a collection. Your olive oil, salt cellar, and pepper mill scattered near the stove is mess. The identical 3 items on a $16 to $24 wood or marble look tray is a vignette. Nothing was purchased except the tray. The brain just categorizes contained objects differently, which is why every kitchen photo shoot I've ever worked on starts with someone pulling trays out of a kit bag. 1 tray by the stove, maybe a second by the kettle or coffee maker. That's the ceiling. 3 or more trays and you've built a store display. Look for wood, rattan, or honed marble look finishes with a raised lip in the $16 to $28 range. The ones I use on shoots are linked below. Which brings us to number 1. Number 1. Kill the big light. At the start, I told you the number 1 idea costs less than $15, takes 10 minutes, and shows up in every expensive kitchen you've ever admired. Here it is. Stop using your overhead light after dark and switch every bulb in the kitchen to 2700K warm white. A 4-pack of warm LED bulbs is $10 to $14. That's the whole spend. Here's why this outranks everything else. Every idea on this list, the runner, the lamp, the paint, the brass pulls, is being rendered by your lighting. Under a cool 4000K overhead blasting down from the ceiling, brass looks yellow, deep green looks black, and linen looks gray. Photographers understood this a century ago. The light decides what the room is. Expensive kitchens are never lit from one point overhead. They're lit low and warm from 2 or 3 sources. The under-cabinet strips from number 6, the lamp from number 5, maybe a pendant on a $23 dimmer. I've walked into kitchens with $80,000 of stone and cabinetry that felt cold and $5,000 kitchens that felt like a hug, and the difference was almost always the bulbs. Tonight, after dark, turn off the overhead and turn on anything lower and warmer. You will feel your shoulders drop. That feeling is the entire cozy kitchen industry, and it costs $14. If your kitchen has none of these yet, don't feel behind. Every idea here is under $55. Most are under $30, and none of them require a contractor, a landlord's permission, or a weekend you don't have. Start with 1. The bulbs, honestly, if you want the biggest shift for the least money. Because the kitchens that feel expensive aren't the ones with the biggest budgets. They're the ones designed around how the room actually gets used. The 6 a.m. coffee in the dark, the 7 p.m. dinner in December, not around what looked good under showroom lighting in July. So here's my question. Which of these 11 are you doing first? And if you've already got one of them, the lamp people, I know you're out there. Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If you want to keep making design decisions that hold up instead of ones you'll regret in 3 years, subscribe. There's a lot more of this coming. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.